Joining the podcast is one of the best high school football players I've ever seen, a three-time state champion at Cordova High School, who then went on to play for the Auburn Tigers and became a BCS national champion, and then had a short little stint with the Dallas Cowboys, Mr. Ryan Smith. Ryan, what's going on, man? Thanks for joining me.
Man, nothing much, bro. Pleasure to be here. Glad you have me.
Of course. Man, I remember being a kid and you and your cousin Tim Simon, who is the best high school football player I've ever seen, who played running back there at Cordova and then on to Ole Miss and is now coaching at Cordova. You guys would come throw the football with me and every now and then after practice at my grandparents' house there in Cordova. How much
Well,
influence did your cousin Tim have on your football career?
oh man, first off, I agree with you. The best high school football player I ever seen, also, or was able to share the field with. But man, huge influence. Not only on myself, just the entire community of Cordova and Walker County, but myself. I mean, he played a huge role leadership wise at a young age. Um, with my career and just, the work ethic and everything that comes behind, being a great athlete and a great person. So he played a huge role and still doing great work in the community. So definitely love to see it.
When you look back at the run you guys made and the program that y'all had there in Cordova when you were there, winning three state titles, what was that experience like, kind of being on top of the Alabama high school football world?
Oh man, well, again, you're from Walker County, I believe. So in particular, when you grow up in Cordova, it's only one way, and that's to win ball games, especially when it comes to football. I mean, when I first moved to Cordova at 7 years old, like I quickly understood that, the town was all about football and the county was as well. So, for us growing up, it was expected. We were, always young kids running around the neighborhood. We knew we would have a chance to play together. Um, and we had a lot of great talent in the community, just hard-nosed individuals. So that run was expected. We put the work in literally from middle school. It started seventh, eighth grade. When we won state championships in the 10th grade, we went back in the 11th and 12th, my 11th and 12th grade year. But the work had been done years before that. So it was just hard work paying off, and definitely excited about those times then that the community was able to experience with us.
What do you remember the most about your time at Cordova playing with guys like we said, Tim Simon and another great player, Jake Houghton? You got any good stories?
Oh man, so many. But just all in all, when you think about it, just great athletes. When you think about myself, Tim, Jake, Rico Everett, Jace Cordell, like you had some guys, Daniel Ingram. You had guys who were literally bought into football and playing it the right way. So what I remember more about those times is just a group of, young men who literally would put it on the line every summer, every Friday, for each other to win ball games.
You were highly recruited coming out of Cordova, and I believe at one time you were committed to go play at Kentucky, but you ended up signing with Auburn. What was the story behind that?
Oh man, well the story, Kentucky offered my ninth grade year. So I was blessed enough to always have that offer and definitely love the coaching staff there and love the town in Lexington. Head coach Joker Phillips at the time was able to come in and did a great job recruiting. But I mean, I grew up an Auburn fan, you know, from the age of just being able to remember ball games. Um, always remember just wanting to walk out that tunnel and be a part of, what was going on in the plane on the plane. So when, my senior year when I was able to get an offer from Auburn, it was, no question that's where I was going to go.
Your freshman year at Auburn in 2010, you were teammates with Cam Newton, and you guys went on to win a national championship that year over Oregon. What do you remember the most about that season, and remember about Cam Newton? What kind of a leader and teammate was he?
Oh man, probably the best leader I've ever been on the football field with when you talk about just showing up to work every day, um, through adversity, kind of blocking the outside noise of what people have to say, good or bad. He was able to lead our team the right way. But similar to that 2010 year when we won the national championship at Auburn, I mean, it was very similar to, the years we had great teams at Cordova. We put the work in and we just went out week in and week out and tried to go 1-0. We didn't go into the season saying, "Hey, we're going to repeat. Hey, we're going to go to the championship." We just had, a group of guys who were bought in, for each other and just wanted to accomplish one goal.
You were a part of some very miraculous Auburn wins there in 2013, especially with the bobbled touchdown catch against Georgia. What do you remember about that? What was your reaction there?
Oh man, and that was crazy. Obviously, the miracle in Jordan-Hare. Man, what I remember about that game is I feel like we put it on the line all game, and we were up, I believe, two touchdowns, maybe 10 points, and somehow Georgia just found a way to get back in the game. So when they went up on us, literally our defense was you know, we were hurt. We were kind of, just out of whack at the time. Um, and just on the sideline, as everyone was, all the fans was across the country and in the stadium, on that fourth down play. So, I mean, I just remember being closest to our tunnel, thinking that was the last play of the game. We blew it. We had a great season, but now we let Georgia come in and come back and upset us. And to see that play with Ricardo and with Nick Marshall, um, I mean, you can't explain it. It's obviously one of the best football plays that I've been around, but not only that, one of the best football plays in college football history.
That was a crazy play for sure. But let me see if I can try to top it. You were a part of one of the most historic Iron Bowls there in 2013 when the missed field goal was returned for a touchdown. Was that a crazier experience than the one versus UGA?
Oh, hands down, hands down. You can't beat it. Not only, the play itself that was made, but the opponent that we were playing against. I mean, nothing gets bigger than if you're a kid from the state of Alabama, whether you're an Alabama guy or Auburn guy, if you're able to beat that other team um, within that calendar year, it always means a lot. But when you can do it in that fashion,
Did you
um,
did you have a lot of bragging rights when you came home?
I mean, I feel like my time at Auburn, man, I always had bragging rights. Even though we went 2-2 and we had two horrible seasons. Um, and I always felt like we always, tried our best to put a good product on the field. But yeah, especially that senior year, with that win was definitely, and then going on to the SEC and the national championship, had bragging rights.
That leads me into my next question. After that game, you guys go on to the SEC championship and then on to the national championship, and you're faced with Jameis Winston, who's another great Alabama high school football player, and Florida State. What was your mindset heading into that game, and what was the locker room like after you guys lost?
Mindset heading into the game was, just to complete the drill. Like literally, we went through so many ebbs and flows, ups and downs, from 2010 to 2014 within our own team, and just things that we had to overcome with coaching staff changes and um, man, to cap it off with that last year, our senior year, to go and go in the Florida State game and play play for the national title. The mindset going into it was just to win and um, as Coach Miles, I would always say, have the biggest turnaround in college football history.
Besides the outcome, what did you see were the biggest differences in that 2010 national championship game versus that 2014 national championship game?
Oh man, I hate to say this, especially especially publicly, man. I feel like that 2010. Um, and this is taking accountability because I was one of the leaders for our senior class. But I feel like the 10 team had a way to come together to continuously vocalize how important the moment was. In 2013, myself being that leader, we always talk about it with the guys, just how we came in and we punched Florida State in the mouth early, and we went into halftime and us as leaders, we should have just came together and said, "Hey, let's not let up. Let's keep our foot on their throat. Let's stay as competitive and physical as we can." And I feel like we just missed an opportunity there. So, in my opinion, I think it was just myself again taking accountability in our senior class. I think we have to put that one on our shoulders there.
Well, after Auburn, you had a short stint there with the Dallas Cowboys. That had to have been a dream come true coming from, small town Alabama. Tell me about that experience.
Oh man, great experience. It was definitely something, when I grew up. I mean, my goal was just to play at Auburn, and that was it. But obviously, throughout the time in my career at Auburn, you start getting NFL interest and teams who start that conversation. So being able to go to America's team and compete, against the DeMarco Murrays and Dez Bryant's and Tony Romo's on a day in and day out, was an experience that definitely I'll never forget.
Well, Ryan, man, I appreciate you taking the time to join the podcast and talk a little football with me. I remember watching you guys when I was a little kid there in Cordova, and I'm really proud to see all the success you've had, and hope everything's well, man.
And absolutely. And one last thing for all college fans who, continue to support college athletes, please visit Rivalry University. It's wearerivalry.com. It's a platform where you can support former athletes and their businesses, brands, and products. So take a look at it. And, if you have any questions, please feel free to reach out.
Yeah, everybody go check that out. Thanks, Ryan.
All right, good deal.